Good day, sir. I am Kuya Basuralan from Section D. This video is the final exam of the CELIA 302. Question number 1. What is the misprision of prisons? Every person or knowing alliance with the United States, the government of the Philippine Island, without being a foreigner and having the knowledge of any conspiracy against them, counsel or does not disclose, making known of the same as soon as possible of the government of the official of the province or mayor or fiscal of the city which resides, as this case may shall be punished by the accessory of the crime treason. Question number 2. What is the piracy as defined phrase in degree of number 532? Any person who commit by the piracy of the highway robbery brigades behind defined shall be committing mission or committation to court by the punished by the piracy. It is the penalty of the reclusion prepared the temporal of mediation maximum period of the imposed. Question number 3. How is the delay in the delivery of detained persons of the proper judicial authorities? The penalty provided in the next petition article shall be imposed upon the public officer of the employee who shall be detained or person of the legal ground shall be failed of delivery persons of the proper judicial authorities within the period of 12 hours of the crime offenses or punished by the penalties of their equivalent by 18 hours. For the crime offenses of the punished by the correctional penalties of their equivalent of 36 hours. For the crime of the offenses punishable by effectively capital penalties of their equivalent. Question number 4. Distinguish the violation or domicile article 128 from the qualified trespassing of the dwelling article 280. Article 128. Refusing to leave the premises after the having the surreptitiously or discreetly infused to said dwelling or after having for the required for the leave to the same, that the act that punish is not be injury but to refuse to leave. While in Article 180, any private person shall be entered for the dwelling or another against the later will shall be punished by the aristomere and fine not be exceeded to 1,000 pesos. Question number 5. How is the CAPDIAT committed? The crime CAPDIAT committed is swift attack the company of the violence, intimidation, threat, strategy, state, or directly against duly for the constitutes of the authorities of the Republic of the Philippines of any military camp of the institutions, communication network, or public utilities of other facilities needed by the exercise of the continued position or power, silently or strenuously carried without any Philippine or any person or belonging to the military, police, or holding the public employment without civilian support for the purpose of business and diminishing of the state power. Question number 6. When and how is rape committed by under RA 8353? To the first threat of the intimidation when the offended party is retrieved for reason or otherwise unconscious by any means of the opponent of the mechanism to give abuse for the authority, and when the offender party is under the 12 years old of age or is the demented even though non-circumstances of mentioned above the present. Question number 7. The two types of the robbery. The hold up of the means of the violations of the intimidations and the break up of the using the force upon things. Question number 8. What is the false key? That also dimension of the next petition in the article. The new key are stolen from the owner, or any case of other than those intended by the owner of use the lock forcibly opened by the offender. Question number 9. How is the theft committed? The theft is committed by any person who with the intent or even but without the violation against the intimidation of person or nor force upon things shall be taken the person property of another without the letter consent. Question number 10. How is the qualified theft committed? The crime of theft shall be punished by any penalties the next higher of the 2 degrees of those the respectively specific the next preceding articles committed by the domestic servant and grabbing or use of the confidence or its the property shall stolen motor vehicle, mail motor or large cattle of consists the coconut taken by the permissions of the permission taken of the Persia or fishery of the property or the acquisition of the earthquake, typhoon, earthquake eruption or any public calamity or vehicle accident for civil disturbance. As amended by RA 220 and ABP Blag 70 by May 1, 1980. Question number 11. What are the circumstances considered as the prima facie evidence of arson? If after fire the found of the material substances soak or gasoline, kerosene, petroleum, other flammable or any mechanical, electrical, chemical or traces of any foregoing. So that the substantial amounts the flammable sometimes the materials were stored within the building or necessary course of the defendant the business, and that the first start the stimulously and was more than a part of the building or the locally under the circumstances cannot be normally due to the accidental. Question number 12. What is the malicious mischief? Any person who shall be the deliberately cause of the property of another or any damage or not falling within the terms of next preceding chapter shall be guilty of the malicious mischief. Question number 13. Who are the persons exempted from the criminal liability under the Article 332? The spouses, accidental descendant or relatives by affinity the same line. The widow's spouse respect for the property which it belong to the deceased spouse before the same shall be have passed into the possessions of another, and the brother and sister and brother-in-law and sister-in-law is living together. The extension established by the article shall be applicable by strangers participating in the commission of the crime. Question number 14. How is the adultery committed? Adultery committed by any married or woman who shall be the have sexual intercourse with a man or not her husband, by the man who her carnal knowledge for her knowing of her the married, even if the married be subsequently declared void. Question number 15. How is the concubine committed? Any husband who shall be kept the mistress in the conjugal dwelling or shall be sexual intercourse under the scandalous circumstances with the woman who is not be his wife or not be cohabite within her any or any place shall be punished by prison correctional in the minimum medium period. Question number 16. How is the qualified seduction committed? The seduction of the virgin or 12 years old and under the 18 years of age is committed by any person in public authority, presumed servant, the domestic guardian, teacher, any person who has any capacity shall be distracted within the education custody of the woman reduced shall be punished by prison correctional in its minimum and minimum period. Question number 17. How is the bigamy committed? The penalty of prison year shall be imposed by upon any person who shall be contract the second or subsequent or married before the former of the married has been legally dissolved or before absent spouse being declared by the respectively dead by means of the judgment or the rendered in the proper proceeding. Question number 18. What is libel? A libel is a public and malicious imputations of the crime or the vice or defect, real of the imaginary of any act of the omissions, conditions, status, or the circumstances of the tending of the cause of the dishonor, disdegree of the contempt of the natural or judicial person of to be blackened by the memory of one who is dead. Question number 19. What is the planning of the evidence under the PAR CC Section 3 Article 3 Article 1 of the RA 9165 and it's the penalty under the Section 29 thereof. The Section 29 the criminal liability for the planning of the evidence of any person who is found guilty of the planning of any dangerous drugs of the control, precision and the essential criminal regardless of the quality and Number 20. How is the murder committed? 1. By the treachery, taking of the advantage of the superior strength. 2. By the consideration or the price, reward or promise. 3. By the means of the conditions, fire, poison, and explosions. 4. On an occasion of any calamities enumerated by the preceding paragraph of the earthquake, eruption, and volcanic and destructive cyclone. 5. With the evident the premeditations. And 6. With the cruelty by the deliberately and the unhumanly augmenting by the suffering of the victims or the outraging of the scourging of his person or a corpse.